Hey everybody, Joe here again. Today we're going to do a video on dehydrating celery. Now there's two ways you can do this. You can blanch it first, after cutting it up of course, then put it in ice cold water to cool it, stop the cooking process, and it will maintain its color better. Or you can do it the way I usually do it and just chop it up, dehydrate it. Comes out just as good nutritionally, tastes just as good, it just turns a little bit paler in color. I don't worry about that. Might do it the other way one time just to show you the difference as well. But for today, we're just going to go at it and cut her all up. And we'll get started. And we're going to cut these into small slices, about 1/4 of an inch. But I'm not going to make you watch me cut up all this and load it up. So I'll be back when I get a little bit further along. Okay, and we're back. So we've got 4 trays loaded up so far, and we've got 1 tray left. I got a bit more of the celery already chopped here. We're just going to spread this out on the tray. You want to spread it out so they're not all touching each other. Get good airflow all around it. And just a little bit more still. Chop up a couple more pieces. Bear with me. Thicker stuff, I sometimes slice that as well. Get the pieces a little bit smaller, just to aid in the dehydrating. Normally I'd be staring right at you in the camera here, but I'm not going to do that while I'm cutting with the knife, so I'm going to kind of watch what I'm doing. Almost done. And that should do it. These guys back in the fridge. I'll use those in something later while they're fresh. And before we go any further, we've got all these scraps here. Some of you might think toss that into the garbage or the compost. That's not what we do here. What we do this with all my vegetable offcuts and scraps. I scoop them all up, put them into a bag, a Ziploc bag or a plastic grocery bag. Pack them all up. Squeeze out some of the air. And these go into the freezer. Why would I freeze these, you ask? Well, that's a very good question. I'm glad you asked. There will be a link in the description down below that shows you what I do with those, and I turn them into a really good vegetable broth. And there will be a link to the video below, like I said. Now, we've got our dehydrator loaded up. We're done with the knife. We'll put that away. Cutting board. I make these out in our wood shop. And I'll put that away. Rinse it off later, let her dry. And the dehydrator, I have 5 trays, all loaded up. Put the lid on it. Now, 1 second. Glasses. Now, we adjust the temperature. We want 135 degrees for these. Now, this is only going to take about 6 to back over here in front of the camera. This is going to take, judging by experience, about 6 to 8 hours to dehydrate. We want them completely dry. I'll rotate the trays a couple times as it goes through the process to spread it out and make them dehydrate evenly. And when that's done, I'll be back to record the last part of the video, put it all together, get it uploaded, and I'll be back with that in a bit. Here we go. I'm Joe, and you're not. Dehydrator is set at 135 degrees Fahrenheit, ready to go. And we're back. So the dehydrator is finished. Everything's all dried up. You can see how much it's shrunk down there. I'll try and get that up at a bit of an angle. So when flipping the trays around earlier, I went from 5 trays down to 4 and eliminated one of them. And this is what we have left. Completely dry. And now what we're going to do is get them into this mason jar. This will be where we'll store them. We're going to use this funnel and just kind of scoop them in. You probably don't want to watch all that, but I'll be right back. And we're just getting the last ones here now, finishing it up. So these were dehydrating for probably about 8, maybe 8.5 or 9 hours in total. 135 degrees Fahrenheit. I did not blanch the celery first. You don't really have to. The dehydrated celery, if you don't blanch it, Hold on. Can't do two things at once. So dehydrated celery. If you blanch it first, it'll stay a little bit darker green in color. If you don't blanch it, it's just a little bit paler, and that doesn't bother me. So there's what we have, less than half of a 500 milliliter mason jar. I would have used a smaller jar, such as this 250 ml, but I'm going to do another batch and load this up until it's full. So that was 2 bunches of celery, and there's what you have left, this little bit. This is great for tossing in soups, sauces. When I go backpacking, canoe tripping, etc., I always bring some of this. I don't bring the glass jar, of course, that's too heavy. I'll put it into a Ziploc, bring it with me. Sometimes I'll combine some celery, some carrots, dehydrated potatoes, a variety of things, mix them all up together, put them in a bag, throw it in a pot, add some water, you got a good soup. So that's that for now, and there'll be a link down below for what I did with the bag that I put in the freezer earlier. All the offcuts from the celery. There's also some onion peels, parts of an onion here which I have done something else. And that's for making vegetable broth. There'll be a link for that down below. So that's it for now. At the end of the video, I'll put this all together, get it uploaded, and I'll have another one probably in a few days, possibly. I heard a rumor there's a good sale on some cauliflower in town, some really good big ones. And I'm going to go for a bike ride shortly, see if I can pick up a couple of those. And those will be going on here hopefully tomorrow. So that's it for now. Click like, subscribe.